Hello, friends and neighbors. It's me, Painted Raina, your friendly neighborhood witch of what the... And today we are making a 3D mixed media landscape of Big Sur, California. Here we have a 14-inch cradled wood round. Here we have some ancient but still usable gesso. Check this out. It's magic! Here's my inspiration photo. It is Big Sur, California, which is one of the prettiest places I've ever seen in my life. I actually lived in California for about 6 months in Los Angeles. Wasn't exactly my scene, so I didn't stay. I loved the weather. Boy, did I hate the traffic. One day, it took me 2.5 hours to drive 14.26 miles from my apartment near Burbank all the way to Santa Monica for my internship. That was the day. I'm like, I'm done. I quit. It's been 2 days and the clay is dry, but air dry clay does not have any sort of adhesive properties, so we are using some Elmer's Glue All multi-purpose PVA glue, and for ease of use, I have funneled some into a condiment jar. So I am just going to pick up these pieces, glue underneath, and glue around, and we'll come back. Just going to use an inexpensive paintbrush and smooth the glue out. And for good measure, because air dry clay is fragile, I am going to cover it in glue. There are absolutely other things that you could use. I just had this air dry clay and it's going bad. It's getting really dry, so I figured I would use this. But you could use spackle, you could use wood filler, you could use construction foam, many things. So don't feel that you have to use air dry clay if you want to try something like this. You do not. All right, I think I've got that good and covered, so I'll move on to the rest of it. Beautiful winter day here in Wisconsin. Glue is dry, and you can see that this is pretty rough, and for what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give this a light sand. I'm just using a sanding sponge. Now that we're all sanded, we are going to prime it. Time to do a basic layer of background color. So I'm going to use a couple different colors today just to build a base. I've got just some Master's Touch Liquid Acrylic in Viridian, Tri-Art Phthalo Blue-Green shade, Master's Touch Liquid Acrylic in Milky White, Liquitex Basics in Fluorescent Blue, and some more Master's Touch in Ocean Green. I'm going to try to ombre my sky a little bit. This does not have to be perfect because it's really just a base. I don't really care if I get it on my texture because when I'm done, I'm going to paint the texture anyway. I mean, I'm not going to be like super sloppy, but I've got a big brush, so it's like not a big deal. Really what I'm just trying to do is blend and make the backdrop not stark white. Speaking of stark, 8-10 years later, whatever, I've just started watching Game of Thrones for the first time. I know, we like put it off forever and ever and ever and ever, and it's... I don't know, we're only in season 4 and it's certainly gotten better than it started. It was like unwatchable. It took us so long to just get through season 1 because I was like, oh my God, these people are awful. But at the same time, I felt like I wanted to see it because I feel like I'm the only person on earth who hasn't seen Game of Thrones. So my husband read the books. I did not. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, who knows. I'm on Onyx Storm right now for you Fourth Wing fans. So I like fantasy, and I think that comes out in my paintings. That was really kind of an odd explanation of things, but if you've watched my videos before, that's probably what you've come to expect of me, isn't it? Yeah, odd. I'm an odd duck. I'm going to add a little bit of the Milky White here because that's ultimately going to be sand, and then we'll let it dry and prep for resin. God, that's so pretty. I might just leave it as is. Dang, I like that. This resin has been sitting for quite a while because I worked on some other projects in the meantime. You can see I taped this section off. What I'm going to do is on this fairly clean silicone mat here, I am going to dump a couple of colors. I've got Sapphire, Benevolence, Mermaid. It's all getting really thick, mind you, because it's been sitting for like 45 minutes or longer. And a preponderance of sea glass. More sea glass than anything. I'm just going to set some of that aside. When I think of California, I think of glitz and glamour. So I am going to spread a little glitz and glamour on the water before I move any further. Oh, and over here, I'm going to like tilt it up. I'm trying to get off. Kind of doing a little bit of a dirty pour there. So I've got very fine blue, and I am going to sprinkle it all over lightly, except I'm going to try not to get too much in the sand. The sand color is chiffon with just a pinch of gold glitter in it because, again, California, glamour, magic, Hollywood, all those things we associate with it, aside from just the sheer beauty of the nature. I have got some diamond dust here, a little bit. I don't mind if I get some of this on the beach. Used a tiny bit of this blue. My dirty pour. I'm now covered in glitter. Perfect. Trusty bottle of Everclear. Pop some bubbles. Try not to get it in my photo. And I'm going to use some tools. First thing I'm going to do is this guy, whatever you want to call that. Just scoop some of this up.
The blue glitter I used is by Resin Rockers. It is called Pixie for Poxy in What You Say. And what I refer to as diamond dust is Unicorn Arts Crushed Crystal Magical Mica.
Yes, I know I'm getting some on my island. It's okay. We're just gonna paint it when everything else is done.
This piece and every other piece in this collaboration are being donated and then auctioned off. All of the proceeds are going to go to the California Fire Foundation. They work to support the firefighters and the families in need after the horrible Los Angeles and surrounding area fires of early 2025. The auction will begin on Sunday, February 2nd, after all of the videos have premiered, and the starting bid is $200. The auction is open for a full week and until February 9th, so get in and bid your heart out. If you're looking for another way to contribute, there is a GoFundMe page for the California wildfire victims linked below this video.
I'm just really setting up now. This is getting real thick, like ultra thick. I think I've just hit its set point, which is good because I'm about done.
Thanks to Fluid Art Co. for making this little piggy and again sponsoring yet another wonderful way to give back to the community. I'm so happy to be part of it. If you enjoy what you've seen here today and you want to see more from me and the interesting stuff I come up with, please like and subscribe. It helps me a bunch. And please do so for all the other amazing artists in this collab too. We really appreciate it. Being a mixed media artist means I'm constantly dabbling in a lot of different things. Like for instance, these earrings. I make them. I make a lot of stuff. So if you feel like it, visit my website or my Etsy and see everything I've got to offer. They're linked below. I forgot to film removing the tape, but it really wasn't that exciting, so you didn't miss much. To paint the rocks, I started with a layer of Master's Touch in Raw Umber. I followed that up with Pebeo Studio Acrylics in Iridescent Copper, and then the lighter tones are Master's Touch in Naples Yellow. For the greenery and the trees, I started out with Arteza Viridian, and then followed that up with Artist Loft Metallic Green Leaf, Master's Touch Fluorescent Green, and my high tones are Master's Touch Light Olive Green. As much as I like making waves with resin, I wanted a little bit more control and a different look, so I used Pinata alcohol ink Blanco Blanco and just a little bit of Claro extender and painted it on with a paintbrush. I added in a few details like rocks that I didn't build out of clay and just painted those on. For the flower stocks, I used Arteza, a paint pen. This is metallic iron gray. And then I followed that up with oil because this is what I had in fluorescent orange. I started with neon red and then topped it with neon orange. And then the very final touch was to add a little bit of the glitz and glamour to the water directly. And for that, I used Artist Loft iridescent medium and just painted it on with a brush.